final session now on this 10-step process of moving beyond mediocrity. One of the things that we're going to deal with now is failure. Big problems. A lot of people are not successful because their fear of failing. Well, let me deal with something right now. You're going to fail. It's going to happen. But what Dr. John Andrews says, it isn't the failing that's the problem. It's not getting back up. So understand this. This is one of the most important things because you're going to fail. I pre-warn you now. But Dr. John Andrews breaks down how we deal with that. So this is the 10-step process. After you watch this, review all of them. We're going to release the whole video all together so you can watch the whole thing. But maybe break down every one, okay? And take them on board and make next year or even right now the time where you're going to live beyond mediocrity. Be blessed.
10 has a brilliant way to close chapter 9. As we get to chapter 10, this is, as I was saying, one of the biggest ones I feel, talking to young people, is one of their issues. And even older people, actually, I even say that, probably even worse for them. But chapter 10 title is Failure Isn't Falling Down, It's Staying Down. And one of the things that you put on page 114, it says, I suggest to you this, the tragedy is not so much the failure in itself, but the failure to get over the failure. Let's elaborate on that. So the tragedy is not the failure, you're saying?
Yeah.
It's not getting over it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Again, I think it's a life principle. It's a bit like earlier on we talked about just suck up to the realization pain is on the way.
Yeah.
This is another one. Anyone who wants to achieve anything of any value must expect some level of failure.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
So the example right back at the beginning of the book, before they broke the speed of sound, they failed numerous times in the attempt.
Yeah.
But then they succeeded.
Yeah.
You know, probably the well-worn, probably overused analogy of Edison and the light bulb.
Yeah.
You know, hundreds of attempts. And then when he invented it, he said, I simply learned all the ways that it didn't work.
Yeah.
Well, that's a brilliant idea. John Maxwell, a great leadership writer, he talks about failing forward.
Yeah. Failing forward.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I wish I had said that. This is brilliant, isn't it? It's just not fair that he said that. Failing forward, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
If you think about it, great parenting does that. It allows kids to fail forward.
Yeah.
In other words, it expects failure.
Yeah.
It prepares for failure.
Yeah.
And then it addresses failure.
Fantastic.
So what we tend to feel is that failure is terminal. No.
Yeah.
Failure's not terminal. The failure to deal with failure is the terminal issue.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Right?
That's it.
So every person listening to this has failed.
Yeah.
I have failed. Mate, I could keep you here all day
Yes.
on just the failures in the last year of my life. But it's then, okay, what do I learn from that failure?
Yeah.
Why did I fail?
Yeah.
Can I change the wiring system to make sure I don't do that again?
Yeah.
And what do I learn from that moment? How can I make that better? How can I improve? How can I go on? How can I get better? So I'm a great Apple fan.
Yeah.
You look at the evolution of Apple.
Yeah.
Every new product gets sexier.
Yeah.
And more slick.
Yeah.
And more brilliant. What are they doing? Learning.
From the past.
Learning.
Yeah.
And part of our learning will involve the learning that happens around failure.
Yeah.
The Apprentice that's on TV.
Yeah.
The people that ultimately win. There's a slice of luck involved in some of that.
Yeah.
But the people that ultimately win are the people who learn quickly what's needed, what's wanted, what Alan Sugar's looking for.
Straight away, yeah.
And they learn, they adapt quickly. The quick adapters, the quick learners are the ones with the highest chance of winning. The slower you learn on failure, the tougher life becomes. So we all fail, get over it.
Yeah.
Just get used to it.
It's one of those things.
It is life. One of those things. It's part of life.
Yeah.
But as Maxwell says, you can learn to fail forward, or you can allow failure to become a terminal issue in your life.
Yeah.
And if we do that, then most of us will never, ever get to the things we believe in.
Now, one of the things that you say as advice dealing with failure is don't fight it alone. Now, explain that. So you say when dealing with failure, don't fight failure on your own. I was like, okay.
Well, one of my great maxims in life, I've written this in the covers of many of my books, is that the people around me make me look better than I am.
Yeah.
So as a Christian, as a follower of Jesus, one of my default belief systems is that God made us to be in community. It's not good for man to be alone.
Yeah.
And so he puts man into human community.
Yeah.
I don't think that's just a sexual issue. I think that's a human community issue. I think we're actually designed to work better with the people around us.
Yeah.
And I've learned that in failure, my big temptation is to go into the cave, roll the stone over, and have a pity party for an hour or two. And with my Celtic mindset, I am a bit prone to being a bit overly serious and morose.
Yeah.
So when failure hits me, I can get a bit down on myself.
Yeah.
I have been a very strong self-critic.
Yeah.
The danger with that is, if the only voice speaking to me is mine,
oh, you'll stay.
then so I've got to allow sensible people to speak into me. I've got to allow the voice of God to speak to me, but I've also got to allow the voice of a phenomenal wife in my life, great people, great work colleagues, great family, who say, John, come on,
it's not
you can do it. It's not over. All right, come on, let's dust ourselves down. Ecclesiastes says this: 2 is better than 1, and it goes on to say, pity the man who falls and has no one to pick him up. It's gorgeous expression. And you know, I then made a determination. One of my life goals is not to live alone. Now, I'm not talking about being married or being single. I mean, don't live alone. Alone is dangerous. Alone makes you vulnerable. Alone makes you prone to believe your own PR and also your own stupidity. So don't process failure alone. Allow people who know how to fail forward.
And this is one great way, as you talked about before, how to learn from your failure. Is by having good people around and say, well, look, take this from it. It's not that bad. Get up, and this is how we move forward. Absolutely. And people who've learned to fail forward, who are around you, don't patronise you. They don't say, oh, well, come on, get over it. They say, I know this sucks. I know this really hurts. I get it. I've been there. But it's not the end. Unless you want it to be the end. It doesn't have to be terminal.
We give failure permission to win or not. It's our choice. It's not. Failure has no power except that which we give it.
Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. But obviously we've covered the 10 steps, of moving.